That last week of summer, when Mother and Dad drove away with Marley and her million possessions, Sophie had twirled around the empty house, clapping and yelling, "Marley's not here!" and then falling down on her bed, laughing. Life without Marley. It was a beautiful thought. At college, however, Marley faced a problem. She was assigned a roommate. Marley was not a roommate kind of person. People who must get their own way are difficult to live with in a space 10 feet by 12 feet. The only kind of roommate that would have worked for Marley would have been the submissive doormat kind, the kind who said, "Oh, Marley, please let me fold your laundry too." Instead, Marley got Persia, who was a few years older, having been a model before starting college. Marley, sharpened by years of bickering with her sister, expected to control Persia. And what had Persia expected? A regular old freshman year? Sophie could have asked, but she and Persia were not on speaking terms. Only Sophie knew this, because Persia had a great capacity for not noticing other people's emotions. Persia was untouched by irritation or anger or even homicidal threats. In any event, after only 10 days of college, Marley decided to come home for the weekend. Invoking some ancient rule that roomies could always go home with roommates, Persia came too. The rest was history. Family history was supposed to be a fun thing, full of interesting ancestors who arrived on American shores in exciting ways. Family history should not happen to Sophie. And now her father had closed up their lives in one sentence. The vision of his future made him so happy he had to say it again, in a rich, round voice, as if repeating wedding vows. "Persia and I," he said proudly, "are getting married." "You aren't single," said Sophie, because he was skipping an important fact. If he and Persia were getting married, first he must divorce Mother. Sophie couldn't look at her own personal father, a man who should be off limits if there ever was one, holding hands with Persia. She slammed the door. "Never," she yelled. "Never, never, 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 never in this world!" Her scream, magnificent though it was, gave her a fierce spinal tap headache, like a viciously cold swallow of crushed ice. Out in the hall, Persia didn't seem to notice that there was now a solid wood door between them. "Sophie," she cried, "Daniel and I are planning our wedding. Of course we want you to be a bridesmaid. Marley will be the maid of honor, since she introduced us." "Honor?" yelled Sophie. "Where do you find honor when you cheat on your marriage? And I will never be in your wedding. I'll kill you first. How do you want to die? Fire? Bombs? Car crashes?" She was hammering on her own door, as if they had locked her out. "Now, Sophie," said her father, as if the topic was skipping vegetables in favor of dessert. "Do you have any idea where your mother is? I really should tell her, too." Ash put a hand over her mouth, hiding shock. Jim appeared to be securing anything that might be used as a murder weapon. "It's okay," Sophie told them. "I won't kill Dad and Persia while you're here. You won't have to testify or anything." She was horrified to find that she could actually imagine killing him. She could feel the weapon in her hand. "Stop this," she said to herself. "You don't want your own father dead." But it would be fine if Persia hit a slick spot in the road. "We'll be accessories because we know you're plotting homicide," said Jim, giggling nervously. "A special kind of homicide," Ash pointed out. "A patricide." It sounded quite elegant when you said patricide, as honorable as being a bridesmaid. How dare her father talk of weddings? What about his original wedding vows? Vows that were still in effect. Then came the twin sounds of their footsteps departing. First they dared descend upon her bedroom in her end of the house and throw that in her face, and now they dared walk away? Sophie wrenched the door open, slamming it backward so hard the knob crunched into her bedroom wall. She stormed after them. "How dare you tell me first?" she shrieked.